Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Diego and DeVore show, and they pulled somebody up from the grave, Derek Flair, and here I am to tell you that you're in the right place. Whenever you see the Diego and DeVore show on your screen, you are in the right place, and it's going to be big woo tonight.
Hi, wrestling fans. This is Gary Whitehurst, former ring announcer with NACW and other indie organizations in the Carolinas for many years. When it comes to all things wrestling, you're in the right place with the Diego and DeVore Wrestling Podcast. When it comes to travel and vacations, you come to me. Once we get through this pandemic, I can make your vacation dreams come true, whether it be an exciting cruise, an all-inclusive resort, international land vacation, and so much more. I'll take care of you. Why me? Well, I will be your one contact person. No long hold times with Booking Direct or big online agencies. And my rate will never be higher than Booking Direct, and I do not charge a booking agency planning fee. How do you reach me? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I'm based in Tampa, Florida, and I can be reached at area code 561-424-6003. That's 561-424-6003. My email is gwhitehurst@cruiseandtravelexperts.com. That's GWHITEHURST at CRUISEANDTRAVELEXPERTS.com. My website is gtravel.cruiseandtravelexperts.com. Hey, I got something great for you now. If you make a reservation with me and mention the Diego and DeVore Wrestling Podcast, I'll give you a cruise onboard credit or amenity. You can't beat that. And now, let's get back to the Diego and DeVore Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Diego and DeVore Show, brought to you by Invicta Watches and Rogue Energy on Anchor.fm. Also streaming wherever you find your favorite wrestling podcast, whether it be iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, or Spotify, with your hosts, Diego De La Rosa and Lord Everett DeVore, as we talk all things wrestling, untold road stories, and bring you stories about guys and gals you might not have heard about, and what's to come. So step inside that squared circle with us as we take you on a fun-filled ride. All right, welcome to another episode of the Diego and DeVore Show. Diego, God, man, damn it, brother. How the hell are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. It's been a long time. It's been what? How long you been on vacation now? 2 months?
Well, you know how I do, man. I got hooked up with Gary Whitehurst down in Tampa, and I got that vacation cruise of a lifetime, and I've just been out there hanging and banging wherever I can.
Well, hold up, man. So, how are you going on a cruise where everything's closed?
Well, I'm special like that. I bought my own boat.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you because I know. I told you when you were at Cedar Rapids and you bought that one of the mansions you're talking about. So, did you go with the hardwood, or did you go with the marble floor?
I went with the marble, man. I mean, why go with hardwood when you can go with marble?
Yeah, leave it up for the peasants like me. So, let's catch up here. So, because I haven't talked to you in a while, and before we go into our guest tonight, which is, I tell you what, you know me. I suffer from a lot of insomnia. I stay up all night watching wrestling videos. So when it's back for UCW business, we're back in business running the shows. You know, I'm always looking for talent, and things start popping at me. But we're going to get into it a little bit. So, I don't know, man. I forgot how your voice sounded like, which is okay, I guess. So, me doing these shows by myself, and, you know, every time we do these paranormal shows, things go a little awry.
Yeah, well, that's those internet demons, man. You gotta take the good with the bad. But you know what? I got to give you credit, because when I went back and I edited those episodes, man, dude, it sounded great. Everything was wonderful, and I think the fans are really going to enjoy those shows. But speaking of things that you're going to enjoy, I got this thing in the mail today, And I opened it up. I looked at it and I said, "It's from Diego." Well, what is this? I open it up, and there we are with all the photos from your wedding, man. And they look awesome. Thank you so much, brother. I can't wait to put them in a frame.
Thank you, man. You gonna put them on the refrigerator? But did you go with like the stainless steel refrigerator for the new? I'm going back to the house thing, but did you have the stainless steel?
Well, of course.
Did you get? Oh yeah, did you get the ones that got like what's a Bluetooth that tells you, hey, you ran out of peanut butter and jelly?
Well, it is Bluetooth capable, but no, it doesn't tell me when I run out of peanut butter, and I never run out of peanut butter because that is my favorite snack.
You know, that's very true. Going back to the old days. So let's get down to business here. And I'm already liking the show because I see a beautiful critter on my screen. I have my own. I have 4 dogs. I have a cat in my room, hang out with me every time. So let's get to this because it's been a while since we've talked wrestling because we've been doing a lot of little side projects with the paranormal, Bigfoot, and coming up with we have a ufologist coming up here very soon on the Diego and DeVore show. Going back to the things that we love, which is pro wrestling. I mean, we grew up and we've been at this, I started in 93, you in 88.
Mm-hmm.
We retired, but you never really retire. You stay in wrestling in one form or another.
Always. You're never going to get it out of your blood. Once you get bit by the bug, you're in it for life. Now, but before we go with the wrestling, I got to ask you a question. Since we've been doing all this paranormal stuff and you just brought up UFOs, what do you think about this incredible UFO sighting that was actually caught on TV and it was verified by several pilots, commercial pilots?
The American Airlines pilot, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up tomorrow when we talk to the gentleman. Hopefully he doesn't get abducted again and actually makes a show. I'm not mad. I'm just saying I was looking forward to talking about this. According to them, the official story is, yeah, we saw something, but if you have any questions, call the FBI.
Well, that solves that problem. So, on to wrestling.
They're on speed dial, of course. On to wrestling. So, like I said, I stay up on the weekends, and if I can't sleep, like, what is that, Chianti or something?
Oh, no, sir. Just regular table wine. I don't drink Chianti. Come on.
Oh, my bad. It's not Boone's Farm from 7-Eleven.
Hey, man, I'm not doing my normal bourbon.
Yes. God bless you, brother. I'm glad. Moving on to class. I saw you bought a new vehicle again. Let's not bring that up, but, it rhymes with Bentley, like from the Jeffersons. I'm going to call you Mr. Bentley from now on. So I stay up all night. I'm watching wrestling videos. I can't sleep, and there's some times where I'm about to give up on wrestling because, I complain a lot. We all do.
No.
It is what it is. So, hey, Dom Perignon, very nice. So, and I tell you, hey, you got to check this person out. And I send you the pictures, and I say, hey, watch this because she's out there. She's obliterating people.
Yes.
It's a crash course in pain. I'm watching this, and I'm highly entertained because it's not me getting my ass kicked this time. There's other people, which is better to watch.
I got to tell you, when I hit click and I hit play, I was like, damn it, she's hitting harder than the men. No,
that's the way it should be, and the presence coming from the back and going down to the ring, it's like you're in for something. So,
absolutely.
Let's talk. Yeah, let's quit talking about it. Let's bring her on. Lilith Grimm, welcome to the Diego and DeVore show. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
We're doing okay. We're just chatting away, catching up, and 2 old men complaining and having a great time doing it.
Now, you got to mind your P's and Q's because for the fans that they're not seeing this, she's sitting there whittling something with a knife. So you got to be careful because she'll shank you.
Well, I did a knife thrower. Remember that one?
You did.
Yeah. So we were talking not long ago, Lilith, through email. This is the first time I'm actually having a conversation, semi face to face, from your side of the world to mine, and I know normally we start, hey, how do you get trained? Where are you coming from? So let's start with the now. So currently we've seen you perform with OVW, and you had a pretty impressive performance there. So tell us about OVW. How did you get to OVW? And how do you see yourself there in OVW in the future?
Yes. So My start at OVW started in, back in November. Actually, you know what? It started a little bit before then, honestly. The school that I train at was formerly known as the Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling Academy. It is now currently known as the Al Snow Wrestling Academy Rocky Mountain. Our school made an arrangement with them to become an ASWA affiliate. And being an affiliate, when the OVW Combine came up in November, we, of course, sent a bunch of our students out there to do that. I think we had about between 9 or 11 people from Rocky Mountain Pro out at to represent at the Combine. So I competed in the Combine, and I performed. I got to wrestle on OVW that night. I was out there for a full week, did a bunch of training with them, did the Tuesday show as well. And ever since then, I've been going out at least once a month out to OVW, and I usually try to go out for at least a couple days when I go to do shows so I can get some training in, with Doug Basham and Cashflow.
Because from where you're at to OVW, you're putting a lot of miles in that car. I mean, you gotta make the drives, and that's a perfect example of that. So with OVW and in between, so because we've been gone for a while, so how's the wrestling scene now with COVID being around? How is that being handled?
It's definitely, it depends on the state that you're in. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, and really it all depends on states. Like Colorado, which is obviously my home state, we're still pretty locked down. We're just now being able to have a very limited amount of fans again, which is great. OVW for the most part has been pretty open. We've been having fans out there for most of the shows. They've had to cancel a couple because of COVID, but for the most part, they've been pretty open with fans. So really, you just need to know where to go, but I haven't had a weekend off in, 4 or 5 months.
Oh,
and it doesn't look like I'm going to have a weekend off for the next 6 months. I'm booked up almost fully until July. I have a few dates here and there available, but honestly, wrestling's pretty alive and well right now. It's just, we're just all waiting for, full fans and, restrictions to lift, obviously, once things, calm down and things become safe again. But really, wrestling is still thriving, and I'm blessed to be at a company, here at Rocky Mountain Pro that we do, we're on Twitch, so we do monthly tapings, so we can keep, even without fans, we can keep going, we can keep doing our show, because we tape once a month, and then we air those shows every week. So I haven't stopped once since the whole COVID thing started.
Well, I mean, if your calendar is that full, that says an awful lot about you, because there's a lot of folks out there, they'll do 1 or 2 a month. But I mean, if you're killing it all the time like this, someone's seeing something in you. It's yeah, let's keep bringing her in. So good for you. Keep till the wheels fall off. Keep doing it.
Oh, absolutely. This is all I want in life. And if a lot of people say that wrestling's their passion, wrestling's their dream, and all that, and then like you said, they wrestle once or twice a month. I mean, I want to wrestle once or twice a day. If I could have it my way, I'd be doing 3 to 4 shows every single week, and I'm going towards the goal of making this full time, where this is all that I do. I already train. I train 20 hours a week. I do 4 days a week at Rocky Mountain Pro. I do strength and conditioning with a personal trainer through Rocky Mountain Pro, and he's built an entire program based around the whole MO of this strength and conditioning class is specifically to help wrestlers in the ring, help get you into ring shape, help you with the exercises that you need for in the ring. And I do that 3 times a week, and this is my life's goal. This is all I want in life. So I will chase it till the skin on my feet is gone and I can't run anymore. And then I'll keep chasing anyway.
Now, have you contacted the PC?
Have I contacted who?
The PC, the Performance Center.
Not yet. That is definitely on my radar. That's definitely something I would like to do, but I want to kind of hone my craft a bit more before taking that step.
Well, I understand, but you're talking about that. I don't think, I'm going to make some people upset. I don't think those folks at the Performance Center are ready to take these kinds of hits, though.
No, I would have to agree with you. I don't
so.
think they're ready to get hit that hard yet.
I mean, they don't even believe in receipts anymore. You know, yeah, they're going to have to get ready. Yeah. I mean, such passion. I mean, out of the number of people that we've had on here, a lot of them have passion, but, you know, some I've never heard this is all I want to do. I mean, you're training 20 hours a week on top of your conditioning and on top of other things you're probably doing in the gym and watching film. And so, I mean, hell, man, a lot of respect for you for that, because that's a beautiful thing. Passion. You got to have passion for this business or you might as well not be in it.
Absolutely.
So who trained you?
There definitely is a place for people that don't want to make it their full-time gig. And, you know, that's something at RMP that we definitely preach, that even if going to the next level isn't your goal and you just want to do this as a fun hobby, like, that's totally fine, but you should still treat it as if you do want to go and train, because regardless if that is your goal, every time you step into that ring, the other person is, you know, their life's in your hands, and training is absolutely important. You know, there's not a point in time where you should stop training. If you feel like you need to stop training, then you're done. You've reached the limit. Like, you can always learn, you can always get better. There's always something new that you can work on, something you can perfect. So training is essential in my mind to this business.
Well, speaking of training, who were your influences when you were training? Who influenced you the most?
So I've had a few trainers. I've bounced around from a couple different schools, and before I settled down at Rocky Mountain Pro, I've been there for a little bit over a year now. But Adrian Matthews was the first person that really, really lit a fire into my ass. And I had some injuries really early on into my training, and I just wasn't really committed yet. And Adrian Matthews was my trainer, and he called me one day and he's like, "Hey, what's up? You haven't been at training. What's going on?" And I'm just like, "Oh, you know, I just gave excuses." And he was just like, "I don't care. Get here anyway." And I was like, "Oh, no, I can't." He's like, "No, get here." And Adrian Matthews really is the one that, like, sparked the dedication that I have now for it. And he's an amazing wrestler, and he's an amazing trainer. Eric Angel was a trainer that really helped me along, and he's actually the one that brought me into the business. I was his valet manager for about a year before I started actually wrestling. And now I'm at Rocky Mountain Pro, and Matthew Yaden, Mercury Matt Yaden, is invaluable. Like, his dedication to his students is absolutely beautiful to watch. Like, our success is his success, and it shows in his dedication to training us. And I would not be where I am without him. He has done so much for me, and I cannot sing his praises enough. He's an amazing trainer. He's an amazing friend. He's an amazing coach, and I owe a lot to him.
Now, have you got to sit underneath of the tree of Al Snow yet?
I have gotten to talk to Al Snow a lot. Al Snow, I can't sing his praises enough either. He is a wonderful human being. He's a wonderful trainer, and, you know, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to say what needs to be said, which I really appreciate. You know, he's not gonna sugarcoat it. And, you know, you can tell if Al doesn't like you, because if Al's like, "Yeah, good job, kid," he doesn't care about your match. You know, like, Al he'll tell you about yourself, and he'll tell you what you did wrong. He'll tell you, like, what you need to work on, because he has such a passion for this business, and he truly loves wrestling, and you can see it in his eyes. You can see it and hear it in the way that he talks about wrestling. And I am very blessed to get to talk with him and get to, you know, be coached by him.
Now, how is he to work for? Is he still very hands-on with OVW?
Oh, absolutely. He's there for every show. He's there for the match reviews. You know, he's very involved, and it's terrifying when you come back after your match and you walk to the back. You're like, okay, all right, like, did I do good? Did I do bad? You know, let's go talk to Al Snow and see what Al Snow thought about my match. But it's wonderful to get to talk to him. And OVW does match reviews all the time, and he'll go over every match and be like, all right, here's what went wrong, here's what went great. And it's really super helpful.
And I like the way he breaks it down, especially the psychology aspect. He breaks it down so that anybody can understand it, as long as they're willing to listen.
Yes. Yes, and that is something that both Al Snow and Mercury Aiden preach, is psychology over everything. You can do all the fancy, flashy, flippy, dippy moves you want, but if you don't tell a story, then nobody's going to care.
100% truth. I mean, can't say any better than that. So, but before we continue with Lilith Grimm, so she was talking, Mrs. DeVore, she was talking about training for 20 hours a week on top of conditioning training and the miles she's putting under her feet. So that takes an awful lot of energy. And you know, and I know that sometimes you need a little pick-me-up for that, a little extra energy, but a natural kind of energy.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the best things about getting energy today, you know, when you and I were on the road, we didn't have these fancy energy drinks that these kids have today. All we had was truck stop coffee or a Crappuccino. But today they got everything at their feet. And one of the best ones out there is Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is the #1 energy drink in America right now. And it was actually designed for you gamers. You kids that sit there and love to play Modern Warfare and your WWE games, your WWE 2K, all those games. You want to stay up all night, you want to play those games, but you don't want to crash. Well, Rogue Energy is where you get it. It's a powder. It's not in a can, so you're not going to taste that metal aftertaste like Red Bull or Monster. And for you people that are diabetic like I am, 0 sugar, so you're not going to get the sugar crash. You're going to get sustained energy all day long. And the best thing about Rogue Energy is the taste. The first time I tried it, I thought I was drinking Kool-Aid. No work, not a gimmick. I thought I was drinking grape Kool-Aid. And I handed it to my wife, and I'm like, here, taste this. And even she thought it was Kool-Aid. Now, here's the cool part. For you fans of the Diego and DeVore Show, Diego's going to tell you how you can get your hands on this wonderful product and save some cash in the act.
I mean, there's nothing cooler than saving cash, you know. You know how I feel about saving cash.
Brother, I know. You're the only person I know that can pinch a penny so hard Abe Lincoln farts.
Hey, listen, a penny saved is a penny earned, sir. So, do yourself a favor, folks. Go to rogueenergy.com. Pick the flavors you want, any size you want. Put it in your cart, check out. But before you check out, make sure you put the promo code Diego and DeVore Show. That's Diego, Shift 7 key, DeVore Show. Diego and DeVore Show, you're going to save yourself 10% on your total order. And Mr. DeVore right now has one of those mini tubs right now, and it looks like the peach iced tea.
Yes,
You've
sir.
crossed over to the peach iced tea, and fantastic
I love the
flavor.
peach tea, man. I can't get enough of it.
Fantastic, man. Good to see that you're still on that Rogue Energy. You look energized as ever. Like when you bought that third home. That kind of energy you're bringing to the table today. So, rogueenergy.com, Diego and DeVore Show, promo code. Save yourself 10% off your total order. So, Mr. DeVore, so we're talking about passion for the business. And this young person right now is telling us all about this is what she wants to do. This is her life's goal. This is her dream. And I'm glad to hear that this new crop, I don't know how new, depending on what your definition of new is, that nonstop we've been having guests here who have that, they're sharing the same passion that she is. And sometimes when you're watching things in certain performances, you're kind of like, what is going on here? But, you know, I have faith in the future of wrestling right now.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because you've been bitter for so long, and so have I, because when I sit there and I look at the landscape and I'm watching some of these matches that get sent to us, and I'm just like, good God, what are these people thinking? There is, not only is there no passion, but there's no rhyme or reason for anything they do. So when we find somebody like this, that from the word go, from, you know, you can tell just by watching your performance, you thought about everything from the entrance, the way you hold yourself, the way you carry yourself, your mannerisms in the ring. There's a difference. What is it that you got that others aren't?
I mean, really, like, my life has been I've had a very busy life for how quote unquote young I am. I've always been very performance heavy. I've gone from doing musical theater to being in bands. I've done everything from classically trained in opera singing to death metal vocals.
Really?
I've been a blacksmith at the Ren Fair. I've been a haunted house scare actor. I was a gymnast back in high school, and out of everything, the only thing that really made me happy was gymnastics. Like, I really truly loved doing gymnastics. It was so fun. And then once I left high school, I wasn't quite good enough to keep continuing. I was too old. I was too old and not good enough for my age level to continue. Because gymnastics, like, you got to start when you're like a kid to be able to continue into your 20s. And I wanted to keep doing that, and then I suffered a pretty severe shoulder injury, and it took all athletic endeavor away from me as far as I was concerned for the next 5 years.
What injury was it? Did you tear your rotator cuff?
I tore ligaments in my shoulder, so my shoulder is like kind of partially dislocated sometimes, and it was a lot of pain for a while, and it took a lot of physical therapy, but it finally got back, and then I started doing dance, and I did burlesque dancing for a while. I did that for about 6 years because it allowed me to perform again and allowed me to do something physical like dancing, and that's how I met Eric Angel. And Eric Angel found out, like, oh, you like wrestling? And I was like, yeah, I love wrestling. I just don't really talk about it because, people always tell you, like, oh, you like that stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I like it. And so he's like, oh, well, I've been a wrestler for 14 years. Do you want to be my manager? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to be your manager. That sounds like a great time. And I came and I did my first show as a valet, and I had a blast. It's so much fun being on, the other side of the ring, quote unquote. And 2 weeks later, I showed up at the training gym for that company, and I was like, hey, like, I'm here to pick up tickets so I can sell for the next show. Like, I know how to sell tickets. I've been performing my whole life. And, like, hey, while I'm here, like, I want to train how to be a wrestler. Like, how do I do that? They're like, oh, do your tryout right now. And I was like, sweet. All I've eaten today is half of a cake, which I ate right before I came here. Let's do this. And, so, like, I've definitely, and wrestling has been the only thing in my life that reminded me of gymnastics. It had this passion that I've never seen in myself before, and it fills my soul. And it's the only thing that makes me happy. And like this business means the world to me. And like having a very performance, heavy background, and it definitely helps. It definitely helps with character development. Like it's taken a while. I've had like 4 or 5 different gimmicks before the demon came to be. And honestly, the demon came from one day I was doing a battle royale, and the announcer was like, oh, how do I announce you? And I was like, I don't know, call me the demon. And it stuck. And 1.5 years later, it's become my entire identity. And it's just, it's taken about 1.5 years to really understand who Lilith is. And, in my opinion, like, you got to take that time. Like, a gimmick doesn't just come. Like, you got to think about it. You got to understand, like, who is this character? Why do they act the way they do? And,
it's very interesting that you say that, because a lot of people don't understand it or get it. So for the people that don't know you, explain who Lilith is.
Well, Lilith is the demon. She simply wants to establish her dominance. She wants to show the world that she's not just some pretty girl, and I hate the idea that women are not as strong as men, or that women can't do what men can do, because I do it every single day. That's who Lilith is. Lilith is somebody that is here to take this world by storm and to show everybody that their future is grim. Lilith is here to hurt people.
I like that promo. That's a good promo. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You stuck that right in there. That's a pro right there. So, out of all so let's talk. We're going first match, because I know we went from valet to first match. I don't remember my first match, and Mr. DeVore remembers my first match. I don't remember yours because I wasn't around, sir, but there's a certain feeling you get right before that first match, and you walk down the aisle and you start doing the work. So, who was your first opponent, and how did that feel? Once you're like, finally, I'm in the ring.
So that's kind of there's two parts of that, because technically my first match was a fatal 4-way, and my opponents were this guy from Colorado Springs by the name of B Mobile, and then my two training buddies who I've been with since the beginning, Damon Ace and Balaam Lynx. And we were this match was at the Colorado United show, and the match was called the Future Colorado match, and I was terrified. Leading up, like, that whole day, I was shaking. I was so scared to go out there, and, like, I didn't think I was ready yet. And, like, right beforehand, I was just, like, terrified. Like, I saw the curtain, and I was like, I can't do this. And then my music hit, and I was like, okay, just go out there. The music hit, I got out there, I bent my head down, and I snapped the head up, and boom, like, everything was gone, everything changed, and that was where I was meant to be. And then I didn't have a match again for quite a while. I didn't have a match again until June. I was supposed to have my official debut match, April 9th at Respect Women's Wrestling 2020 at the venue where I met the guy that got me into wrestling. And April 9th is my anniversary date of when I started wrestling, or when I started training. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is going to be magnificent. And then COVID took that away from me. Oh. And I didn't get to actually debut until June of 2020. And I wrestled Heidi Howitzer at Headlocks for Hospice down at CSW, Colorado Springs Wrestling. That was my official debut match. And I haven't stopped since then.
Now, I want to go back to something you just said. You said that before everything happened, you were so nervous, and then your music hit, you put your head down, and when you came back up, something had changed. So are you a performer that flips that switch? And if you flip that switch, where do you go in your head?
Yeah, it's definitely a switch flip. And to get into the headspace, I have a certain playlist of really weird music. Well, it's normal to me. It's weird to other people. Like, they hear this and they're like, what even is, how do you find this? I'm just like, this is what I listen to. But I have a very specific playlist that I listen to. And there's a very specific phrase from a movie that I will replay in my mind over and over again. The movie is Repo the Genetic Opera. And it's the line of when Repo Man is coming out and he is talking to himself and he's saying, I'm the monster, I'm the villain. And you can hear two voices talking, because it's Nathan's like actual voice, and then the Repo Man, who are two different people becoming one person. And that specific line is what clicks it for me now. And I had to use that for a while, and I've gotten to a point where there really isn't a difference between me and Lilith. Like, we are the same person. She is my identity. I am Lilith all the time, 24/7. No matter what I'm doing, I am Lilith. I was out in North Carolina recently, and I went to go get food in full gimmick and was very sure that I was going to get some holy water thrown on me, because I'm just walking around with blood on my face, doing my thing, getting my food, and I order food like the demon. I lived like it is my gimmick. Like, my gimmick isn't. Sorry, I'm getting like excited to talk about it. I am the gimmick. There's no really separation between the two of us anymore.
Well, that's when it works the best, when you're just being you with the volume turned all the way up. It's a cliche. It's been said by many people, but it's amazing how many people don't make that connection.
If you don't feel a connection to the character you're portraying, then the character is going to have no depth. Because
absolutely,
you are the one telling the audience who this person is. And if you don't believe in them, how are they going to believe in them? If you don't know their backstory, you don't know who they are as a person, how can you portray that? It's like being given a script, and they're like, here, read the script, and you don't know anything about the character. Like, yeah, you might, a good actor would be able to read that script pretty well, but if you knew the character, you'd be able to read so much better. Than like you have to understand who you are portraying, who you are when you are in the ring in order to do it well.
Right. Anybody can cold read, but if you don't know the part you're playing, you're just wasting everybody's time.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man, it's such a craft that, I mean, my goodness, a lot of people don't even put that 1% thought into something like that, and she's out there living it. So it translates to your performance. So, I mean, good for you. And you could definitely tell. I mean, you've seen her in action, Mr. DeVore, so.
No, absolutely. She's a beast from the word go. And, it's amazing, the 22, 23 years that we spent out there to find somebody with that much passion and to put that much thought into it was a rarity back then. So it's refreshing to see this new group, the new crop, taking time and getting to know themselves and owning this craft. Now, what you just said, taking them on the performance, and sometimes you get tired doing that performance, especially when you're on the road. Now, here's the funny thing about that, is we all get older, but getting older is a choice. It truly is a state of mind, and it is your choice to grow old. Now, you can either grow old gracefully, or you can fight the hands of time. And I'm going to tell you how to fight those hands of time. Viking Alternative Medicine. You might have heard this, you might have seen this spinning around. It's the real deal. Viking provides hormone replacement therapy services for both men and women in all 50 states via telemedicine. That means you never have to physically walk into a facility to get treatment. They don't have initiation fees, consultation fees, or even monthly fees. They're about half the price of the competition. Match that with their incredibly knowledgeable licensed medical professionals and unsurpassed customer service. And it's easy to understand why Viking has a reputation in the medical industry that it does. The best medical professionals and the most treatment options out there. Make Viking the clear value for TRT and other therapies. Now, here's how you're going to get it. Call them today at 877-MY-HORMONES. That's 877-MY-HORMONES. Or visit them online today at vikingalternative.com. Now, we usually plug these things, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt because I've been on Viking now since October of last year. And I'm going to tell you, the 23 years that I put the abuse on this body took its toll. It got to the point where it was hard for me to even get out of bed and walk. I'm telling you now, right now, that growing old truly is a choice because the therapy that I've been on since October is working wonders. So this isn't just a gimmick, folks. If you want to change your life, truly change it, stop procrastinating, stop wasting time, and get a hold of Viking today. 877-MY-HORMONES or vikingalternative.com.
Yeah, speaking of that, so, I started about a month ago on Viking. And results vary on how, it might be different for you than it is for me, but I noticed that what were my struggling 45-minute workouts slowly started creeping up into the hour and a half. Now I'm solid 2 hours, and it's less of a struggle, and I feel pretty good afterwards. Now I say the results are different for everybody. What you get out of it, what I get out of it will be different. But for me, as for right now, for the first month, I'm pretty happy with it. And
well, that's good because for most people, it takes about a full 10 to 12 weeks for your body to kind of get dialed in. So if you're doing it in a month, that's pretty good. Now, how are you feeling energy-wise?
I went in with zero expectations. So that way, I'm not going to say, well, I didn't get this, and that. It's different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's more like things seem to be less of a struggle, especially creeping up into our 50s.
Right.
And, it's not a fountain of youth, but it's damn near close.
But you know what? I say nay, because wait till you hit around the 6-month mark. And because I'm not going to go overboard and say that I feel like I'm 16 again. But I tell you what, I feel like I'm in my 30s, which is huge because You know me, I go to the gym. I've been going to the gym for a while, but there were certain things that I couldn't do anymore. I could not get on a treadmill and run for an hour. I couldn't run 10 minutes, much less an hour. And I can do all the cardio I want now. My knees and my hips don't bother me anymore, and it's amazing. So I'm looking forward to your report at 6 months.
Will do, and you can send it back to the big guy from Viking, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to hear. So, before we get going...
Before we go any further, I got to mention the best thing about Viking.
Yeah, tell them.
Make your consultation today. During your consultation, just mention the DeVore and Diego show. There's no promo code. Just tell them that you heard about Viking through the Diego and DeVore show, and you're going to get 10% off your treatment.
Wow, look at that. Savings even for that. Even I am impressed that you found a great deal like that. My man. So, getting back, before we go, back to Lilith Grimm, and so tell us how the folks can find out more about you. I know how I found out about you. See, I'm one of those folks out there that uses Twitter for the right reasons. I'm not out there trying to get people fired. I'm not out there complaining. I'm not there to cancel you. I'm out there for a purpose. I use it for business.
Now, hold on. Are you whittling a jawbone?
No, it's a goat femur.
No, it was a former opponent's femur.
Playing with it, but I'm whittling the goat femur. I'm doing something called scrimshaw, which is the act of like a carving into bone, and then you put ink over it so that way the carvings show.
Nice.
Awesome. Just because I was watching, it's like, oh my goodness. Well, let me finish plugging this Viking, and then we're going to talk about this. But so before we get going, and I know that I know you're a very busy person, so let's talk. Getting back to the Twitter, because that's how I found out about you. Because, using Twitter for the right reasons, you get positive results. So stick that in your pipe, folks. How can the folks learn more about you, where you're going, Facebook, Twitter? What is it? What do they got out there? So many things out there. Don't tell me TikTok, because I'm going to hang up the phone.
I love my TikTok.
I'm out.
I don't know my TikTok.
Now, you know what? Here we go. He's done brought it up. Before this year is done, we're going to get you on TikTok, and I'm going to see you twerking on TikTok.
My stepdaughter's learning too many dumb dances in that thing. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much. You can find me literally anywhere. The only one that's weird is Twitter. On Twitter, I'm at Grimm Lilith, but everywhere else, I'm Lilith Grimm. Twitter just refused to let me put Lilith Grimm on there for some reason. So it's at Grimm Lilith on Twitter. That's 2 M's on Grimm. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok. I will eventually make a Snapchat at some point, but you can find Lilith Grimm on all of them. I have a page that you can friend on Facebook, but I also have a like page. And I post mostly on Facebook. That's where I do a lot of my stuff. I put a lot of like where I'm going to be next on my Facebook. I try to keep up with my Instagram. I definitely need to work on my Twitter, but I'm on all the things. Just look up Lilith Grimm. And you can see me through Rocky Mountain Pro. Like I said, we're on Twitch. Oh yeah, I'm also on Twitch. I don't really stream that often on Twitch, but every now and then. But Rocky Mountain Pro, we stream every Thursday night. We have brand new episodes of our show where you can see me. So follow Rocky Mountain Pro on Twitch. You can follow me, the Lilith Grimm, the Demon, on Twitch as well, and watch me play Skyrim sometimes. But yeah, so I'm pretty much on all of the social medias.
Great, and I know now merchandise. So I know there's some merchandise for you out there, right?
Yes, you can get merchandise from me in person. I usually try to upkeep all my shirts, and I will usually have some shirts in person that I only have in person that I don't put out there. So that way, it's incentive for you to come to the show, because you can only get it from me in person. But other than that, you can also get my merchandise on Pro Wrestling Tees. Search Lilith Grimm. I'm the only Lilith on Pro Wrestling Tees, of course. And you can see all of my shirt designs except for my special ones, which I keep in person. But other than that, like 8x10s or stuff like that, you can just message me on any of my social medias and we can discuss that. But I'll make sure it's around pro wrestling fees.
Now, before we go, what is in the future for Lilith? What are your goals? Do you want to go to New Japan? Do you want to go to NXT? Do you want to go to WWE? What is your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal, honestly, is to do nothing but wrestling. That's really all I care about. I don't care where I go to do that. And, you know, I was blessed recently with getting to do a seminar with Mike Bennett, who you've, you know, seen on pretty much everything except AEW. And, you know, he said it best, and he said that, you know, the goal may be WWE, but while you're on your path to that goal, you will hit so many other things that you never even expected, and you might fall in love with that, you know, whether it's Ring of Honor or Impact or AEW or New Japan, like, you know, like have the goal in mind of where you want to go, like in the end, but really like just focus on the journey. So I'm just focused on making this full time, and wherever I go, I'll be happy as long as I get to wrestle.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most perfect answer I ever heard about this. So, like I said, there is not that there's no hope, but there is hope out there, and I'm glad that, you know, we've had at least 3 or 4 individual the same philosophy that she has, and, you know, I'm hopeful, and until then I'm still going to keep clicking and looking for those folks that are out there doing it the right way, but she's definitely doing it the right way.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And I mean, other than that, I mean, Mr. DeVore, like I say, you've been gone for a while, and so hopefully you get to stay for a few more shows before you do for another vacation soon. So
no,
you set the house.
The saddle, man.
Back in the saddle. It was good to have you back, man, because a tag team with one person, you know, I'm just Marty Jannetty, brother. I'm
Don't
one
sell
half of the
yourself
Rockers,
short, brother.
Well, you know, I'm only 5'9", so that's how it goes. So with that,
what's wrong with 5'9"? What's wrong with being short?
Well, this guy's like 6'8", so always makes you feel like, what?
I hate
It's true. I know you hate me. That's why we do this show. So, Lilith, we appreciate you being on the Diego and DeVore show, and we'd definitely like to bring you back so you can tell us a little more about what you've been doing as your career keeps expanding, keep putting the miles under your feet. So it's been a pleasure speaking with you tonight, and please come back whenever you want to, and when you're not booked, keep us in mind.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Awesome, man. Another episode of the Diego and DeVore show. And the book, sir, and I know you're looking at one of your 5 laptops you have going in there, so let's get to wrap this up. And you haven't done this in a while, so I hope you've been
we'll see
chewing
if
your
platinum pipe still got it, right?
Yeah, if you've been chewing your Ricola, and if you can flex them golden pipes. Oh no, you graduated from golden pipes. I'm like 1 year ago. Your titanium pipes.
Now I'm up to titanium. That's
flex them and take them.
I'm putting so much pressure
I know.
on me.
Just take it home, brother.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Diego and DeVore Show on Anchor.fm, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you catch your favorite wrestling podcast. We'd like to thank our sponsors today, Rogue Energy, as well as Viking Alternative Medicine. We'd like to thank our special guest today, Lilith Grimm. If you haven't seen her, you need to look her up today. And until next time, stay safe.